Just seen him. We've just seen him play the drums there, and I was hoping he was going to do his talk from behind his drum kit, or at least somehow incorporate that into his theology lecture. But no, the drums have been put away. But up next we have Mr. Arcuri, Christian, from Italy, looking sharp, sir. And you're going to be talking to us about
the resurrection of Jesus.
I'll leave you to it, my friend.
All right. So welcome, everyone. I'm Christian. I'm from Italy, and I'm part of the Life Theology stream. And today I'd like to talk to you about something that I believe it's really important for our faith, the Christian faith. And I believe it's really crucial, and it makes a difference whether it happened or not. And I'm talking about the resurrection of Jesus. And of course, in just a few minutes, I won't be able to say all that there is to say about it, but I hope at least I can make you a little bit more interested in it. So I just like you to think about Jesus. If after all that we know that he did and said, after all the miracles, the parables, the sermons, after the fact that he said that he will rise again after 3 days and the cross, could you imagine if in the end he wouldn't have resurrected? People would have thought of him to be someone crazy or a liar, because he said some huge things about himself. He said that he was the Son of God, and whoever saw him saw God the Father himself, and he claimed to have the power to forgive sins. So he made some really huge things about him. He made some huge claims about himself. And I'd like you to think about this. Like Dr. Gary Habermas said, which is a Christian historian and theologian, we know these facts historically, that Jesus died by crucifixion, he was buried, the disciples believed that they saw the risen Jesus, and this event changed them so much that they were willing to give their lives for it. So what happened here? How do we explain such change in the lives of the disciples? Well, if we take Peter, for example, before the cross, we can see that before Jesus' death, he was ashamed of Jesus, and he betrayed him 3 times, and we can see that he really didn't want to be associated with him. And then we can see that after the Pentecost, he's really bold, he's courageous. He's speaking about Jesus as the Messiah that they were waiting for, and as he was in Jerusalem, his audience knew who Jesus was. So really, I would say that we can see that Peter had really changed. And I would also think that if we think that the disciples made up the lie that he resurrected, well, why then they were willing to die for it? I wouldn't be willing for a lie that I would make up myself. So if we take also a look at Acts, we can see that the main points in their preachings of the disciples are, you killed Jesus on a cross, but God raised him from the dead. We're all witnesses of this event, and now we preach in his name that he's the Messiah. So being a witness was really essential, and we can see that before the Pentecost, when they were looking for someone to replace Judas, they were looking for someone who had been there from Jesus' baptism to when he was taken up. So we can see that really the main requirement was not to be old or spiritual or wise or whatever else, but just to be a witness of Jesus' life and resurrection. And I'd like to say that the resurrection was really the central theme of the early church. So they really gave their life for it, and their faith was based around this event. And I would also say that for us, I think that we should think and maybe realize again that our faith is based on this event, on the fact that Jesus Christ resurrected. And I believe it makes a huge difference if Jesus Christ resurrected or not. I would say that maybe even Ashburnham Place wouldn't be Ashburnham Place. Maybe I wouldn't be called Christian, and maybe all our lives would be very different. So I'd just like to finish with this verse from Paul that talks about the importance of the resurrection. And if Jesus Christ has not been raised, our preaching is useless, and so is your faith. So thank you very much for everything that you gave to me in this year, and thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Christian. That was brilliant. Oh, I thank you so much. It's so beautiful to hear, isn't it, what God's been teaching different people, and Christian really put that together well. He spoke really eloquently, and it's not easy speaking in a second language, is it? So well done, Christian. That's brilliant. Thank you so much.